Okay, now we're going to go in and use a website called sketch.io/sketchpad/en/?, and this will take you to a free Sketchpad tool that you can use online. What we're going to do is use this to produce our plumbing plan, and the whole reason I like this one is it gives you a line tool that lets you do chain lines where you just click and click and click and click, and it's making a continuous line. I tried doing this on Google Slides. It's tedious because you have to create one line at a time, and it's just I don't want you to have to do that. So we're going to do this. First thing I want you to do is choose the plus down here on the bottom left. This creates a new drawing. And what we want to do is choose something like an 800 by 600 resolution. As far as the background, choose something other than transparent. You could do grid, green grid, some lined paper. I don't care which one you use. Probably not isometric. So I'm going to choose this green graph and then click Create. Alright, the next thing I need to do is add in my floor plan that I made that is grayscale. So I'm going to click these little layers up here and choose Upload. And I'm going to go find my floor plan. In my computer it's in Pictures. I don't know where it would go on your Apple machine. I'm going to choose the one I just made and put that on there. We're going to resize it until it fits nicely, but I like how this is. So I'm happy with that. One of the things we want to do is lock this down so it's not moving as we're doing other things. So make sure it is locked, and you'll see this little unlock button there. Alright, first thing I need to do is add my water heater in. So you will see a star shape here. This lets you choose different shapes. And I think it starts with a star, but we need a circle. So choose circle. I want it filled with white. And the outline is going to be black, and 2 pixels is fine for this. So once we have that selected, we're going to just go over here and sketch a little circle. That's about the right size, and then we'll just move it into our position into our floor plan. Okay. The next thing we need to be able to do, let me hit check on that. Next thing we're going to do is add in our cold water, our hot water, and our draining plan. So I'm going to start with the cold water, showing where it comes into the house. So above the shape tool there is another tool that lets you do lots of different kinds of brushes. So you can do lots of different things here. We are interested in the line tool. I think it shows up as calligraphy first. So we're going to go choose line. You're going to be using different colors, so let's see, right here we just want to use normal, and then we're going to click on this outline. Since it's a line, there's no fill. Make sure you remember which row you pick on. I'm going to the row of colors just above the last one, so I'm going to be using this blue, this red, and this green. Okay, blue and red and green. So it's important. I would like you to pay attention and choose the same one every time. So we're going to pick a color, and then I also want to increase the points or the pixels. About 3 to 4 is good. I'm going to use 3, and you'll see on here on the drawing. Okay. So once I have that done, I can go in and start working on my plumbing plan. I'm going to increase my zoom a little bit over here so that I can see details. On my computer I can, oop, that's not what I wanted. Zoom back out. Once I set that zoom, I can use my scroll wheel to go up and down my floor plan, so that lets me get in and get some detail views. Alright. One thing about cold water, it's always going to go, like on a bathtub, it's always going to go to the right side. On a sink, it's always going to go to the right side. So what we're going to look at is we're going to look at this floor plan. The cold water goes right to the hot water heater. That's the first place it goes. And then from there, it gets distributed through the rest of the house. As often as possible, we want to follow the walls of the house. So as I look at this floor plan, it's going to make sense to kind of follow along this wall, go to this bathroom, to get to the kitchen. It's going to flow through this wall, under these doors, across here. Sometimes you may have to like bridge across a space, and that's fine, but try to follow walls as often as you can. So we're going to do this with the cold water first. I'm going to start from the hot water heater, and it goes to the outside. Press escape to get out of the chain mode. And then from the hot water heater, we're going to go all the way around the house. I think I'm just going to be quiet and do this on fast speed. Okay, so what I did is I went through everywhere and got the lines where they're supposed to be. If you are unhappy with the angles here, let's see, I'm going to zoom in a little more. Let's say you didn't like that one, so you can open that up and click and drag the points and straighten them out. As long as you show me where everything is, I'm good. Okay, but you can go through and adjust those if it's bothering you that they're angled. Okay, so that was a real quick little view of laying out the cold water lines. Okay, and I forgot one. This is a refrigerator. Okay, there's also a line that goes to the refrigerator because you have an ice maker. We're going to go ahead and designate that to show me that you thought about it. If you double click the last point you place, it escapes. Alright, now that we've got that laid out, let's do the hot water lines. For this one, we're going to choose this red color. We're going to keep it at 3 pixels. Okay, so the hot water is going to go right along with, that's not what I wanted, go right along with your cold water lines. I want to undo that. Undo, undo. Alright, I think I have to select it and delete it, sorry. Alright, so let's, I'm going to adjust the zoom a little bit so it's a little more convenient. And again, I'm just going to go through and do this kind of fast. So we're going to start from the hot water heater. Just kind of parallel these lines. If you don't follow the walls exactly, I'm not going to get upset about that. Just don't go right on top of each other, each one. The point of this is to kind of trace where the hot water goes throughout the structure. Another thing to keep in mind is hot water is always connected to fixtures on the left side. So as I look at this, I've got hot water everywhere it needs to be. All the sinks and the bathtub and the washing machine. Alright. Next thing we need to think about is the drain line. The drain is going to go from the washer, and it's also going to go from the bathtub and toilet and the sink, and from the sink in the kitchen, and from the sink and toilet in the bathroom here. So let's kind of zoom out on our site. Another thing we have to pay attention to is that sewer connection has to be far away from this. And as I looked at this layout, if I did a trunk line from here to there along this way, it would make sense. So we're going to go switch our line to green, staying on that same row of colors so I know where to get my other ones. We're going to use this green color, and I'm just going to start at this bathtub and just follow straight out this wall and show my connection there. So Again, you probably on your plans want to go back in, straighten these up a little bit so it's easy to read. I'm not real happy with this choice of green, but you can kind of see it. Probably should have selected something a little bit darker. We're going to continue working on this. Again, don't worry about following the walls exactly. I just want to have an idea of where you think the plumbing should go. Alright, let's do a sanity check and make sure we've got everything connected. I have the washing machine draining to this main line, the tub, the toilet, the sink, this sink, then this sink, and this toilet all go to this connection. Last thing we need to do is add some labels, so we're going to go choose the text tool. And let's see how this looks. Okay, so we're going to just go down here and type the word water. That's really big, so we're going to try to make that smaller. I think it'll scale if you just grab it. So if I grab this corner, yeah, you can take and shrink this to make it small. Okay, so just get that a small size. This is our water connection. And then we're going to do another one that just says sewer. Squeeze it down a little bit and move it up here next to your outlet. Main thing, these have to be at least 10 feet apart. Okay. Alright, once you have your plumbing plan all sketched out on your grayscale house, tidy it up a little bit. I would really appreciate it if you would go through and make things at 90-degree angles. Again, don't worry about staying inside the lines. Try to just keep them straight, and so we can see how it's really going to go. And in reality, when you do this as an architect, the plumber on site, he will change these. He knows where the fixtures need to go, and there are more efficient ways to route things sometimes, or sometimes there's like physical limitations based on what you've laid out. So then after you've got this, what we need to do is export it. So we're going to export, and you can do a JPEG, a PNG, or PDF. I'm going to do a PDF and see how it looks. So I'm going to put this where I can find it. So I put that in my downloads folder, and it opens up. And when I'm done, I have this. So if we zoom out on that, we have a nice plumbing plan. Let's put your name down here too. That's something I should have done. So before you export, add your name. And that way I know who did it. Alright, this video is drug on long enough. Hopefully you find this helpful, and I look forward to seeing your plumbing plans.